Hey angels, welcome back to Touched by Ty Hair Co. Want to know how I achieve this look? Stay tuned. I'm happy you came back. See you in a second. Good morning, angels, and welcome back to Touched by Ty Hair Co. How y'all doing? I'm so happy that you came back. So as you can see, I'm at home. I'm in my kitchen, okay? And I am currently on my way to school. I am making my coffee using my beautiful Keurig. All right, mixing it up. Okay, as always, it doesn't matter how you feel. God is still worthy to be praised. I will be back with something that I haven't done in a long time. Okay, once I get to school, we'll be doing Ty's Jewel of the Day, getting back into that. So yeah, let's get to school because we're running late, and let's see what God has for us today. I'm so happy you came back. See you in a sec. Hey angels, I just made it to school, super duper late, but I wanted to come to you with Ty's Jewel of the Day. Ty's Jewel of the Day for today is no one is motivated all the time, but you can be disciplined all the time. No one is motivated all the time, but you can be disciplined all the time. When you're not motivated, discipline comes into play. Get into a healthy daily routine, remain disciplined in that, and that'll push you through when motivation doesn't. I'm happy you came back. Let's get into today. All right, angels, let's go ahead and get into today. Welcome back. I'm so happy you came back. This is the Cosmetology vlog, okay? We are in week 2 of makeup, and this is my mom.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to say hi to you.
So today I will be transforming her, guys. But this is the kicker. I can only use the makeup from school. So we start off, she actually was coming back from cleaning her face, okay? This is the moisturizer that she uses. If you're looking to add a really good moisturizer to your kit for all skin types, the Cetaphil is top notch, okay? You cannot go wrong with this. So I'm blending that into her skin, and then I'm going to follow that up with a Maybelline base primer, okay? So some things our teacher slowly but surely is allowing us to swap out, but she wants us to use as much of the kit as possible. So I use this Maybelline primer on her. This is a really good basic primer for the skin. I'm starting with eyes today. Now, her eyes are microbladed, okay? So I'm using the concealer palette, and I'm going in with the small concealer brush from Morphe. It is the M421 brush. So I used that brush to go in and carve out her brows originally to clean up the bottom, but the concealer is so thick, it's not creamy enough. So I went in with an angle brush to clean up the bottom of her brow. Y'all know I like to use a straight edge brush anyway. I was trying something new, but this concealer just would not let me be great, okay? So I went in with the bottom with a lighter shade, and on the top of her brow to thin it out slightly because I felt like they were a little bit too big, okay? So I wanted to clean them up some. I went in with her skin tone, with a concealer that matched her skin tone. Now, she has microbladed eyebrows, okay? So I did not fill these in, all right? So I couldn't diffuse the front. I couldn't really do them how I would do my brows. So I just had to work with what I had. And as you can see, now I'm going in to clean up the top of her brow. What you see us doing when I'm putting it on the disc, this process is called milling. So I'm milling, meaning I am taking some from the compacts, okay, and I'm putting them onto a non-porous surface. So the discs are non-porous, okay, so they don't hold anything in them. They don't hold any bacteria, no moisture, or anything like that. And so that's the way they teach you to use, because we use our products on they're multi-use. Instead of me putting it on the back of my hand like I normally would do, we have to use a different technique. They teach us this way in class. So you have to mill the products out onto a non-porous item, a CD-ROM, or maybe a mixing palette, a metal mixing palette. You can use that. But in class, they provide us with these CDs. So now I'm going in with the eyeshadow base, and I'm just bringing that down over her eye. To blend everything out today on her eyes, I am going in with the Morphe blending brush, the M173. Normally, to set her eyes in place, I will be going in with my transparent RK by Kiss, but that's in my main palette. So to set the eyes, I'm going in with this NK Makeup setting powder in the shade Light. Now, to start off this eyeshadow look, I'm going in with this Morphe blending brush, the M330. And I'm going in with that brush to start to build in her crease using that brown shade. So this brown ended up being a little deeper than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. I'm still gonna work with it. These eyeshadows are very pigmented. However, they have a lot of fallout. So I did run into that towards the end of the video, but they are pigmented, but they just have a lot of fallout, and that kind of drove me crazy. So no harsh lines. Y'all know we do not do harsh lines here at TouchedByTyHairCo. So I'm going to go in with this lighter brown to blend out the top of the transition, okay, to make it very blended and smooth, to give it like that gradient effect. I don't know if y'all just seen me tap the end of that brush and you seen how much came out of that brush, but it was a lot. So if you're attending Paul Mitchell, the school, and you're using this makeup, just be mindful of that, okay? The challenge today was to use our entire kit. And so that's really what I tried to do to create this look. So yesterday while we were in class, our instructor asked us to go in and pick out a wedding inspired look. So I'm recreating her look, which you will see at the end of the video. And I'm doing that the best to my ability. Now I'm going back in with that Morphe, because her look had a slight cut crease, right? And you cannot cut a crease with that concealer. Like, it's totally impossible. We are only able to use the little bit of things that we have, right? We don't have a shadow base that comes in our kit, so we were able to bring in one. So I'm using, and I didn't, keep in mind, I didn't know if this was gonna work or not, but I used the shadow base to cut her crease. So I used her shadow base to go in as much as I could in attempt to cut a crease. Y'all, this was a hot mess. Okay, it was a complete mess. I normally would never do this, but the beauty in this is it challenged me because I had to use what I had to get the same outcome as what the client wanted. So it definitely challenged me. So once I set that crease, it was like a half cut crease, I went in over top with the shimmer because I really wanted the shimmer to stand out. Now that I've went on top with the shimmer, I'm going in to pack this deeper brown, this darker brown, right on the outside of that crease. The look kind of reflected a deeper brown, kind of blending into the shimmer. So I wanted to create or get as close to what her picture looked like as possible. So I'm using that deeper brown and I'm just packing it on the outer part of her eyelids. And now I'm just blending that out with that same Morphe blending brush. Now I'm going in, we don't have a liquid liner. Well, we actually do have a liquid liner, but I didn't want to use that. I'm not gonna lie. So I went in with this Morphe liquid liner and I'm just lining, giving her a very thin dark line at her lash line. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna use a flat liner brush and I'm gonna set that in the black matte from one of the eyeshadow palettes. So off camera, I went on, I used a makeup wipe, I cleaned up all of that fallout, and I placed on a basic beauty supply store lash. Now we are getting into the face. So for this, I refer back to the What's in My Makeup Kit video. I am using the 01, the lightest shade in the foundation. I believe this is the Sand. It's called something Sand, but it's 01 in the professional makeup kit, and I'm using that as her foundation. This foundation is a very good consistency and it does give a light to medium coverage, so it is very buildable. So I do like that about this foundation. And as you can see, I just use this foundation on her, applying it with a flat foundation brush, building that coverage into my liking. I didn't have any skin correctors to skin correct her, so I wanted to give her like a medium to full coverage on this foundation because she does have a little bit of rosacea on her face. So we just wanted to make sure that we covered up any skin pigmentation. We just wanted to give her a really beautiful, even skin tone. And so that's what we were able to achieve with building this foundation. I'm going in with my Morphe E63 brush to blend the foundation into the skin. Y'all, this E63 brush is my absolute favorite. It blends out the foundation. It just presses it into the skin beautifully. I absolutely love it. Okay, as you can see, I showed you guys where I'm going in using that concealer that's about 1 to 2 shades lighter. And I'm using that same flat oval concealer brush, that 421 brush, to apply this concealer. So this concealer is like super thick, okay? So you need a denser brush to apply it. So I went in with that mini oval concealer brush, and I blend that out using that Morphe E63, pressing it into the skin because we don't want any of those dark circles, okay? We want to brighten that under eye up, as well as lift that eye to give her a slight facelift. So I brought that up right up under that shadow line. On the opposite side, you'll see here where I'm going in, and I'm going to notice that her line isn't as crisp. I didn't clean up as crisp on this side. So I'm going to go in and add a little bit more shadow and concealer to clean that up and make that nice and even. Nice. So now that we've got her under eyes done, I'm gonna go in and just place some light highlight in certain areas on her face, right down the bridge of her nose, right over her eye brows, and on that chin area. I'm also want to put some definition into her jawline, so I'm gonna highlight right under where her contour would go. That way, when I go back in and I bronze up the face and I slightly build on the contour, I'm going to create that contrast, okay, and definition. I'm going to blend all of this out using my E63 brush and my blending brush. My damp blending sponge. Now I'm going to set the highlighted areas with the same shade as her foundation, okay? So our pressed powders match our foundation. So for every foundation shade, we have a pressed powder shade to match. So I'm going to set her in the same shade as her foundation, the 01. And I'm going to set all the areas where I placed that highlighted concealer. Once I've set all of her highlighted areas, I'm going to go in with the shade 02 to set the remainder of her face. Did I say that right? The remaining areas of her face. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Now I'm using this powder brush that I added to my kit, and I'm just going in and I'm setting the remaining of her face in that 02 shade. Once I've blended all of that in, I'm going to go in with, I believe, the shade 03, one shade deeper. This was either 03 or 04, I'm not sure. I believe it was 04. And I'm going in, and now I'm just bringing some color back into that face. I'm going to bronze up her face, and then I'm going to build up that bronzer using that same color into a contour. Just creating definition at that jawbone. So when I bake her, I can go ahead and create that contrast. Okay, so we can create some definition in the face. So I wanted to bronze up her nose slightly because it was just like really, really blah. So as you see me going in here, I'm just creating some of that contrast in that nose area. Just snatch it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just snatch. Just give it a little snatch. And then I blend that out with my damp beauty blender. Y'all, I have learned so much, right? This is about our fourth look, and I've just learned a lot. Really challenging myself using what I have, you know, and I really, really do feel like you can give me anything and I'm gonna still be able to give you a decent outcome. This is not anything that I would boast about. However, for me to have use these products, baby, this face is everything. This face came out gorgeous. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because these, honey, you're working with, you know, it's giving dollar store. Okay? It's giving dollar store. But technique. This is what I talk about with technique. I believe my technique and the techniques that I've learned since doing makeup artistry really pulled me through. I was able to maneuver these products in a way that I just made them work. So for the baking powder, because we don't have baking powder, I added these today, you know, so I'm using the Laura, I don't know if it's Laura or L'Oreal Mercier. I don't know how to say it right. But anyway, I used the Laura Mercier. I believe that's how you say it. The color translucent, and I set all her highlighted areas. And to define her features on her jawline, I used translucent honey for Laura Mercier. Okay, the honey on her, because she is lighter, it did leave a little golden undertone. So at the end, you'll see me go back in with that 02 and just blend that out for her blush, because we don't have a blush palette. So we have to use what we have, you know, multi-use. Get the most out of your makeup, okay? I went in with the eyeshadow palette and I just gave her this beautiful rosy cheek, okay? And here you see me going in with that, I believe, I don't know if this was 01 or 02, and I'm just blending everything together. Unfortunately, I do not have my Kiss, okay? I do not have my bronzer, my favorite bronzer, okay? So what I did was I went in with the shimmer palette and I just put that Kiss on that face. Y'all know I got to have me my Kiss now. That Kiss that look like you've been kissed by the sun. Yeah, I added it to her face, honey. I used what I had, okay? I'm going in just to smoke out that lower lash line, just to give it a little bit more pizzazz. Like I said, this particular palette did have a lot of fallout, so I had to kind of clean it up and go back in and just make it look like how I wanted it to look. Now, like I said, I am using the shimmer eyeshadow palettes, and it's going to be my highlight for her face. I'm just going to highlight the areas where I want that light to hit really beautifully. I want her to look like she's been kissed by God himself, okay? And I'm going to use this shimmer palette to do it. Ladies, gentlemen, makeup artists, okay? Use what you have. If you run out of bronzer, if you don't have a highlighter, use a shimmer palette. If you don't have a bronzer, you can use an eyeshadow, okay? Use what you have. That's one thing that this class has taught me. You can use one thing multiple ways. Get your point across, honey, by any means necessary, okay? I go in. We don't have setting spray, so I'm using my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray to set the face. Last but not least, we are going in with this lip. We have dual-sided color pencils. I went in with the chocolate brown to line her lip. And then I am using this nude color from our lip gloss palette just to give her a very nude lip, okay? To reflect what the client wanted. Going back in, setting that face one last time. This was her look. This was her inspiration. Okay, and this is what I did. Y'all tell me how I did in that comment section. This is her reveal.
My God. I'm gonna start wearing eyelashes every day. Thank you.
Y'all, she couldn't believe how her makeup came out, right? Everybody was like, what the hell, Ty? Like, how did you get this to come out like this? Technique. Okay, this was her reference picture. That was her finished product using what I had. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Thank you so much for rocking with me, angels. We are in week 2 of the cosmetology vlog, and we are keeping this thing going, okay? I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Touched by Ty Hair Co. out. Bye.